If you're tired of orange pit bikes, Qronge has the bike for you. It's their new Spark X1, and it promises a top speed of 50 miles an hour out of the box. Already at 40, this thing is screaming, man. Plus it's all new blacked out styling. The all black pit bike like this, no denying that it's sick. You've even got the number plate there on the front, all black fenders, all black everything. The Spark is one of the most popular mini pit bikes of 2026, so let's take a first look at this new black version. All right guys, out here testing the Qronge Spark X1. This is yet another pit bike. Seems like we've tested a million of these on the channel so far this year, but this is yet another one, and the cool thing about this one is it is all blacked out right here. I love how this thing looks. The styling is pretty cool on this. Very small. This is the 14/12 version, 14-inch front wheel, 12-inch rear wheel. You can see our standard knobby tires on the front and back here, 12-inch knobbies in the rear. Looking really good. I like this all blacked out, murdered out look. I did kind of scratch this up a little bit in the garage from putting it together. I was trying to drag it out on the side and it got a little scratched up. Yeah, there are a million of these little bikes out here on the market this year, and I wanted to take a look at this one and see if there's really any difference besides the visual kind of all blacked out look on this thing. Definitely do have a different headlight on this one than I've seen. Usually they have them in the plate right here. But let's hop back on here and do a quick 0 to 30 test. On these faster bikes and dirt bikes like this, I'm gonna do a 0 to 30 from now on, just because I think it's more fair. We're gonna go off the GPS here. The screen is a little bit optimistic, but all right. 3, 2, 1, go. 8, 15, 22, 26, 30. So the GPS obviously lags a little bit, but this thing is quick. It gets off the line really fast. There's a lot of torque on here, over 200 Newton meters. I think it's over 250 Newton meters of torque on this thing actually, which is a good amount. You can definitely feel it. And I'll flip back around here and do a top speed run. Turning radius is pretty good on this. All right, top speed of the Qronge Spark X1. They say that this thing can get up to 50 miles an hour. We have the GPS to verify that, so let's see how fast we can get this thing going. Already at 40, this thing is screaming, man. 43, 44, 45, at 45 on GPS. And I'm actually cutting it right there because I felt it pull back that power. I felt it cut off. So it is limited at 50 on this. Maybe if you were able to adjust this computer on here, you'd be able to get a higher top speed, but 45 on a bike like this is still really, really good. I should mention too, there are 3 different modes on this bike, so in case you're uncomfortable, you have mode number 1 here, which gets you up to 20. It doesn't limit your power, so you're gonna get all that power at once. So if you're not ready for it, it's gonna hit you. And then you've got power level 2 here, which gets you up to 38, which is still a lot of power. And then you've got your 3rd pedal assist mode, which is gonna get you up to your top speed of 50 miles an hour on the display, but an actual 45 mile an hour top speed with GPS. Really the main thing I'm worried about on these little pit bikes isn't necessarily the top speed, it's the torque and how this thing feels down low. Because that's what you're gonna be using on a day-to-day basis on this thing. All right, so firing up our Spark, you can see that's how our headlight looks. It's actually yellow. You can switch it into different modes. That one's flashing seizure mode, and then you do have a white mode. Screen gets dimmer when you have the headlight on. You got a horn too, and one crazy thing about the horn, it flashes those like red lights out with the headlight too, so that's kind of interesting. Also, another really nice feature besides this built-in taillight with brake light, it is these turn signals right here, which is something that you don't see on these entry-level dirt bikes like this very often. Giving the brakes a test here, stopping from about 30. Yeah, feels really, really good. These are the same DOT hydraulic brakes that we've seen on a lot of these little pit bikes. That might need to get bedded in a little bit, so I'm gonna give it one more shot here. Come up to about 30 miles an hour. And, ooh man, we're kind of scraped right there. I actually dipped the suspension down so far that it was scraping that the front fender on there. But yeah, really good brakes. It feels like it wants to throw you over the front with those front brakes, man. That's awesome to see on a bike like this. If you got a lot of power, you want to have some good brakes too. The light is so bright, I can see it on the ground there during the day. Suspension feels really nice, but let's go ahead and test this thing on our off-road test over here. Hopefully they mowed the lawn here, and they didn't. That's okay. Oh yeah. Oh man. This is not, oh goodness. It seems like the front wheel bottoms out and hits that fender there. This suspension's really, really good. It's very floaty across this stuff. This is a pretty rough surface here, and it handles it just fine. Woohoo! We can cook on here, man. Oh yeah, look at that. thing? RIPS, a little over 30. I love these little dirt bikes, man. They're so much fun off-road. Oh, big bumps. Oh yeah, suspension eats that up. So why don't we go down here and do a hill test, because our normal hill test area is so overgrown right now. I'm just gonna go down here. This is a very steep hill right here, and we're just gonna start from the bottom here. Yeah, I'm trying to do full throttle on there, but it wants to kick the front wheel up on me. So this is just made for doing hills like this. It is made to be a hill climber here. Front suspension bottoming out. Got to be careful on this too. Oh, there it goes again. It just wants to lift that front wheel up on here. Yeah, passes the hill test, obviously. This is a 60 volts, 4,500 watt motor on this. I think that's probably the peak, but that is plenty of power to get around and go up hills and stuff. 60 volts is really, really good too, high voltage. So nice to see these little pit bikes like this for around $1,000. It's so crazy that we have such powerful bikes for around $1,000. It seems like bikes just keep getting more powerful and value packed, and they also keep getting cheaper. It's crazy. I was actually kind of worried about that rear shock because it looks like it's just an e-bike shock on the back. A lot of times on these dirt bikes, they'll put an e-bike shock on the back and it'll just be super bouncy. This one feels good. The dampening feels slow enough. Oh yeah, we can keep up with traffic on the road here. That's for sure. We're going 39. We're probably going about 35 right now. When we do hit our brakes here, I don't know if you guys can hear it on camera, but I think there's a regen brake on here because it kind of makes like this humming sound from the motor. So I think it is adding in some regen on this thing. We're already sagging down one battery bar here. We've got a 28.8 amp hour battery on this thing, 60 volts like I said. So we should get a really good amount of range. I've rode similar bikes like this and I've gotten really good range out of them. Probably not going to be just gunning this thing at like 45 miles an hour at the top speed. So you're going to use less battery when you're just riding around at 30, 35, even 25 miles an hour. You're gonna save more battery because you're not sucking all that power out of the battery all the time. It's just sipping power when you're cruising. It's kind of like a car. If you're going really fast in a car, then you're gonna use more gas. Same thing on an e-bike. You're going fast on an e-bike, you're gonna use more power. I don't really hear any weird sounds coming from this thing. We got knobby tires on here, and this is a mid-drive bike, obviously, so it is gonna be louder than a hub motor bike, but the power gains are worth it, man. This is a fun little peppy bike. Yeah, flying down the road here, man. Getting some really nasty voltage sag there. It sagged down to like 2 bars on there, but you know, that's just kind of what you do when you're on a powerful bike like this. Yeah, the fun thing about these electric dirt bikes is it's like you see somewhere that you want to go and you can just go there. You just point the bike and you can go. You don't have to worry about, am I going to be able to climb these hills? It just works. And the suspension's so good on these that you can ride without having to worry about the terrain. But this bike is more than enough to terrorize the neighborhood, which is what most people are gonna be doing on this thing. This is gonna be a kid's bike that kids are gonna ride, and they're gonna be riding this thing around in the neighborhood, and they're gonna be terrorizing their neighbors. Luckily, you don't have to listen to the gas engine like we used to. Now you can just have this little electric bike. And they are, even though they are a little loud, they are way quieter than a gas dirt bike riding up and down the street. We also have a horn on this and some other nice features. We got those turn signals like I showed you guys. And we got that multi-mode headlight, which is really nice to see on an entry-level dirt bike like this. You can still ride around on the street and you're not really compromising anything. You've definitely got features that a lot more, my camera is messed up, I'm gonna fix this. But you've definitely got features that way more expensive bikes would have. On a cheaper bike like this, you really don't have to pay that much money anymore, relatively, to go fast on these bikes, man. There's really not many compromises on these. Like I said, this bike is really cool looking. I love the all black on here, but the biggest downside, I would say, for this is the seat. Now, we've seen other bikes like this, like I said earlier, but the seat on these bikes really isn't that great. I'll put the kickstand down right here. And I gotta believe that they have a replacement seat for this at this point, but I don't know if it's because I'm not sitting in the middle of it. It's pretty cushioned, but just sitting on the back here, there's no padding and it's just so hard back here. So for me, riding this thing over like 10 miles, even now my butt is kind of sore on here. But that's just kind of how this seat is. Yeah, all black styling on here. It looks really sick. Everything is going really well on this bike so far. I'm liking this thing a lot. One thing to think about too, if you are gonna pick up a bike like this, is there are a lot of e-bike crackdowns nowadays. And I should say more e-moto crackdowns, because these are the types of bikes that they're really trying to target. They're not really targeting legal e-bikes or ones that look legal. They're targeting the ones like this without pedals and stuff. I actually got pulled over on the trail a few days ago when I was out with some family and friends. We were on a big group ride for Memorial Day, and we probably only had like 5 people in the group, but one of the guys had a dirt bike, the Happy Run G300 Pro, and that one got targeted even though it has pedals. The cop was like, I should give you a ticket, but I'm gonna let you off with a warning this time. The screen is pretty hard to read out here during the day. It's the middle of the day, and I really can't read the screen that well. If I turn the headlight off, I can read it a little bit better, but still, it's kind of a hard screen to read, and you can't really adjust it on here. Maybe that's something to take into consideration for you. I should mention that they also make a bigger version of this bike with a 14-inch rear wheel and a 17-inch front wheel if you need a little bit more standover height. Frame size doesn't really change much on that bike, so if you're cramped on this size frame, then you're still gonna be cramped on the bigger bike. It is nice to have a little bit of extra standover height, and if I had to buy this bike specifically, I would probably buy the larger version of this instead of the smaller version, just so I could get that extra height. They also sell the original orange one too of this. I like the blacked out one because that orange one, I don't know, it's just kind of played out at this point. Like everybody has a little orange dirt bike. Literally everybody has one, so it's nice to kind of stand out a little bit instead of just fit in like everybody else. And we'll go up this hill here. Dude, I am like literally 1/8 throttle right now, and I could get up that hill just fine. The power on these bikes is so crazy. Do I think that you should buy the Qronge specifically versus its competition? Well, it really just depends what you like. Competitors have different colors, but I've heard really good things about the Qronge. I've heard that they have pretty good support, and I have tested out one of their other bikes before. I think the features on this thing are really nice. You got the keyed ignition on here too for a little bit of extra security. Obviously, you got your full twist throttle. You got turn signals and a horn and a really nice headlight on this thing too. I think it is an absolute must to have a headlight on a e-moto at this point. There's really no excuse. You know, back when the Tudio came out a couple years ago, it didn't have a headlight. It didn't really have much in the way of creature comforts. But now to be competitive, you gotta have a headlight. You gotta have the nice little accessories like this. The grips feel really nice on here. The brakes are incredible like always. I've seen these brakes on different bikes many different times. Heading position is decent on here. I'm kind of hugging the frame, but that seat is just not that great at all. If you buy this thing, just be aware that after a few miles, your butt is probably gonna hurt, especially if you're a smaller, or if you're a bigger rider, I should say. If you're a smaller rider and can kind of sit in the middle, this is a little bit better. There's more cushion here, but me having to sit back here where I'm comfortable, it's just not that comfortable on this thing, man. And after about 12 miles on this ride, we have got 3 battery bars out of 5. So decent battery life. It does sag down quite a bit when we give it the beans here. Yeah, sagging down to 2 battery bars right there for a second. We have so many little nice things about this Qronge, and I like it a lot. You know, the display's really good too. And I think the reason why you'd buy this is because you want, oh, this kickstand is kind of high up. Let me bend this down. Try to bend it. Anyways, I think the reason why you would buy this bike over all the rest is because you like how it looks. The all black pit bike like this, no denying that it's sick. You've even got the number plate there on the front, all black fenders, all black everything. This one is a little bit of a premium price compared to the orange one. I think this one's $13.99 right now. And I think I do have a discount code that they're giving me so that if you guys do want to buy this, you'll get a little bit of a discount. But the orange one I think is only like 1,100 bucks. So I don't know why the premium is there on this bike at $13.99 just for a black color like this. I think they know that this is the one that looks better and people are willing to pay more money for the cooler looking version of the bike. No, I think this is a great little bike. If you're in the market for a 60 volt pit bike like this and you want one that looks really sick in all black, I think that this is a great option for you. And if you do want to buy again, you can use the link down below. Just help support the channel. And I've got a little bit of a discount code for you guys too. So this isn't gonna be my last video with this bike. I'm gonna do a video where I might do a night ride video, but I'm also gonna do a video of me modding this a little bit. I am gonna change out the sprocket on the back. So we'll see if that can get us up to some higher performance on here. I know you have to like reprogram the display and stuff too. So I'm gonna show you guys the process for all of that as well. So not the last video on this bike, you're gonna see it again on the channel. And I am gonna try and make this thing go a little bit faster because we got 45 miles an hour out of this thing today, which is another thing. 45 miles an hour on a bike like this for around $1,000 is just insane. So, all right guys, that is the Qronge Spark. Really, really awesome little e-moto. Tons of fun to ride this thing around out here. But that is gonna be it from me today, guys. Hope this was helpful. And I will see you all in that next video where we mod this thing up. All right guys, take care and ride safe out there. See you guys next time.